All right, and Mr. Chairman, it's off to you.
Thank you, and hello, everybody. Good to see you all. The meeting will call to order at February 16th at 6:32 p.m. We'll do roll call. I guess I'll go down the list. Kathy?
Here.
Okay. Nathan?
Here.
Jean?
Here.
Gerardo?
Here.
Deborah?
Here.
Larry?
Here.
Rebecca?
Here.
Brian?
Here.
And myself here. Awesome. Looks like we've got everybody. Next, public comment. And John, correct me if I'm wrong, there were no public comments.
Right.
Okay, zooming along. Record-setting time. Next is the agenda for tonight. I know that we do need to go into closed executive session for the library council discussion. So that's the only change I would ask for.
I move that the agenda for February 16th be accepted with the necessary correction, addition, change.
Thank you.
I second.
Okay, and I will go down to get your votes. So, Kathy?
Aye.
Okay, Nathan?
Aye.
Jean?
Yes.
Gerardo?
Aye.
Deborah?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
Rebecca?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Okay. Next, we have the minutes for January 19th. Ooh, I wrote that wrong on there. Sorry about that. 2022. I put that as 21. My bad.
It's okay. We're all getting used to it, Rob.
Thought I finally left that year behind. Do we have a motion to accept that? Were there any changes that needed to be made?
I make a motion, we accept the minutes.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Okay. And going down the list, Kathy,
Aye.
Nathan,
Aye.
Jean,
Yes.
Gerardo,
Aye.
oh, I'm frozen. My bad, I got frozen. I thought Gerardo was frozen.
Unless it
Okay. Deborah,
Aye.
Larry,
Aye.
Rebecca,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
myself, aye. So cool. The minutes pass. Next up is the acting executive director's report.
Thank you, Rob. I hope everyone is well. I'm going to go ahead and make my email big so I can read it. Basically sent an email today at 3:20 p.m. I do hope to intend on sharing statistics and relevant information with the trustees every meeting that we meet. I've attached a PDF to that effect, basically on key indicators. We have suffered some number changes in terms of active card holders over the years has been steadily declining. Our reference transactions also, as we gather statistics, our usage is down, but I think that gives us an ample opportunity to provide new and exciting service to the community. I'd be happy to discuss these numbers with each trustee individually on the phone. I don't want to go too deep into the numbers on the call here or on our meeting. As far as the operations, the governor's mask mandate comes to an end on the 20th of February, and we will be no longer requiring masking for our patrons when they enter, but strongly encourage and recommend masking. Staff will continue to mask to keep staff safe and to give that assurance to the public. As far as finance, there's nothing out of the ordinary to report. The draft agenda included in your packets this month for the Finance Committee. Do want to encourage trustees to reach out if you ever have any questions about the budget or finance. As far as personnel, I'm sad to say and excited for Gail to announce that she's decided to pursue a great opportunity with another local organization. This means Gail will be leaving us, but unfortunately for us, we're going to miss out on an amazing individual, incredibly a mover and shaker in her own right. She's never been in the magazines that I read, but she's really incredible, and she's done an outstanding job this past 2 years working with her. Has been a breath of fresh air, and she does great work, and we wish her the best and well in her future endeavors. Everything will continue in education and literacy services. We'll be appointing an interim manager of the department just to make sure the work continues. As far as the building, we have recently passed some inspections of the building and fire checks and so forth. All of our sprinklers are working on so forth. Our safety teams are hard at work making sure the library is clean and safe. Francisco has been working on building 10 little free libraries. I'll share some pictures with you, trustees, of these neat things in their development. We're going to be partnering with the Parks Department to put them into 10 local parks across Waukegan so that we can find new homes for some of our gently used materials as we withdraw them from the collection. Excited IT action, a lot of stuff going on. I want to encourage each trustee to reach out to me and we will schedule a time with you and Isaac, our IT manager, to get training on Microsoft 365. I've had a few questions, but I want to just reassure everybody that we're here to help if there are ever any questions. We are launching Shoutbomb, which is a texting service that you can renew your items via text, be reminded that the items are due. We will also be launching our app soon. So Isaac and his team are very busy, and there's a lot of happening in the next few months. So stay tuned. As far as our per capita grant is on the agenda tonight, but we did send it in by the February 15 deadline. It'll be after the fact that we approve it today, but it is something we have to do every year by the deadline. Looks like March 19th will be the date that we will be getting together for our trustee quarterly retreat. More details will be forthcoming, so please do reach out if you have any questions, or if that date doesn't work, we can always rearrange. And then last but certainly not least, as far as committees, please do reach out to me or Susan to get on the agenda to discuss committee activities so that we can get information out in a timely manner and be your secretaries and make sure everything gets done when it needs to be done. We've done our best to make sure that information is shared with trustees a week in advance. And I just want to reiterate that this works best when we all work together toward this solution. So thank you very much for all that you do. Thank you for your support and your kind words and your hard work as volunteer trustees. Thank you so much. And with that, I will pass.
Thank you, John. Coming up next is the services report from Gail.
Good evening, everyone. John is going to bring up the presentation.
Everybody see that all right?
So today we're going to walk through what's been going on for the past month or so with services. So for Black History Month, so far we have had 3 events. They've all been virtual. As you remember, last month we transitioned back to virtual for our larger group programming. Sylvia England from the Lake County Black History or African American Black History Museum did tell my story. And so far that's had 153 views on our Facebook. Spoken Word with a local poet, Sharon Epps, 74 views. And Angela Walker and John T. Actually, theirs was a Valentine's concert aimed at our friends and our more seniors, because we traditionally have a concert on Valentine's Day. And so far, 137 views, which means not a click and a peek, but someone actually sat there and went through the whole thing, whether on average, they were between 20 and 40 minutes long. They are still available on our Facebooks if you would like to partake in any of these programs. And then we have several more coming up for the rest of the month. For our children's focus, we've been doing children's discovery bags, which are quite popular. Again, engaging the community with an opportunity to both read and do a craft at home, but still associated with the children's department. Tiempo Distintos. We have transitioned. I think you've heard us talk a lot about our digital equipment and wanting to really sort of up our game with our digital programming that's produced in-house. And we have opened the room with the thanks of Isaac, who's now training staff. Jennifer Cordova, who's our community outreach person, has been trained and is providing a lot of support. So I encourage you to look at the story times for Tiempo Distintos this month. Excellent. And as you can see, it's received 1.2 thousand views. And then if you've seen the paper, we have a local celebrity that we've been hosting at the Waukegan Public Library, a young woman who is teaching a writing class. And there's been 2 articles lately in the Tribune just about how she's impacting academics and skill sets in the community here at the library. And it's a very popular program from in-person that's remained popular virtually. For our teen focus, we've got a new layout in the teen department. Some new furniture has come in. Unfortunately, the new furniture is not in the picture, but they've got some huge beanbag chairs where up to 2 teens can sit in it, or 1 teen can sit, and it's kind of like an igloo, and some charging towers, really starting to make that a more enticing space. Coming up for some passive programming that will be there in person when people are in the building, as well as some spring break programming. The paint and snack take-home kit has been really popular for teens. And then upcoming this President's Day, remember we had to move the Martin Luther King Day. It's going to be on President's Day. And because of our not having large groups of public in, it'll be a come in, pick up your kit. So people have already registered. They'll take the kits home, and they'll be creating hygiene kits for community members. They'll create the kit at home with strict instructions how to do that in a clean environment and bring them back, and they will be distributed locally. Our adult focus outside of Black History Month, the ongoing virtual book club is being very popular. We have a Black History Waukegan History Spotlight that was internally created by Vanessa, a staff member who goes by the moniker Professor Vanessa, because she's teaching about local history using Ancestry and some of our other resources that the library has. And the Great Howell Orrin program that was in person, but then we did it via Facebook with a guest speaker, had 150 views. So think of that. We couldn't get 150 people in the building. In terms of Illinois Libraries Presents, the next virtual program is the Evening with Jenny Lawson, and it's going to be on March 30th. Interestingly enough, we have not had any participants in the first 2. So we're continuing to market it, but even if we haven't had participants yet, we've taken a step in the right direction in terms of just bringing access to the community. And at some point, one of these authors is going to connect with our community and we will have participation. So we still have a few more months in the pilot, and that group, Illinois Libraries Presents, is working really hard to tailor what is being offered to various communities. Okay. Our marketing focus, we do have our upcoming newsletter, which will be out at the beginning of March, Turning the Page, the Spring Happenings. And you will notice that every time it comes out, there's more white space. We've really cut it down and made it a nice bite-sized read of 4 pages, appropriately translated into Spanish where needed. And we've increased our use of QR codes. So just one way that we're connecting with the community. Over the next few months, we will really be highlighting and focused on increasing awareness and utilization around our electronic resources, which includes this list as a priority. There will be a multi-department or discipline team created and led by Fran, who runs our collection management group, because increasing awareness and utilization is not a marketing issue. It is a library issue, and staff have to be comfortable and able to engage the community around these resources, as well as we're getting awareness out with marketing pieces. So our Emma, our twice a month e-blast, will be featuring online resources for the near future. Education and literacy services upcoming. We are partnering and showcasing Rosalind Franklin's United Health Clinics. They have renamed the Community Care Coach, Community Care Coach to the Community Care Coach Connection. So every month, the care coach pulls up and they do prevention screening. They have been inside the building also, as you can see, tabling. February 9th and March 9th, they're here the second Wednesday from 1 to 4, no appointment needed. And the staff, many of the staff are bilingual. Doesn't matter if you have insurance or not. So another way to engage our community members. We have 2 upcoming virtual digital literacy classes. That's a seated class. Our Excel class registration is full with 15 people registered. Learn and Discover PowerPoint has 7 seats left, but there's still time to register. And our Jocelyn Center of Lake County, the Talk Time and Social Workers, we are continuing virtually with our English drop-in lab, and we're converting the drop-in time for Spanish to more one-on-one appointments. We've already taken the time to evaluate the traffic flow, who's using and how to make that adjustment. Our Latino community would prefer their one-on-one 30-minute appointments and not to share, sort of community space in a drop-in setting, whereas many of our English speaking patrons and community members are comfortable with the drop-in setting and aren't taking, at this point, as much advantage of the one-on-one appointments. So Jocelyn Center is working very closely with that as we adapt to make sure that things remain, we increase the utilization of this program. And as John said, I will be leaving. And yes, I did give a 30-day notice. Everybody's known for a while. And we've been doing lots of planning. And for those of you that don't know, Educational Literacy Services is my baby. I worked here part-time for 5 years and taught at the college. When I came on, it was really to develop and implement education and literacy services. And many of our grants do support that work. So I will be staying on as a contractor to do program and grant administration to make sure that our funding, we can extend our funding for a bit. We're staying in line with the grant requirements. All funders have been notified and they are fine. We will have an interim manager who will be strictly focused on a couple of projects. The staff there are independent and focused and well able to run their programs. And we know that they'll continue to do great work. So you haven't gotten rid of me totally. And as John said, I'm going local. So many of you will see me on a lot of committees and projects, not representing the library, but another local nonprofit. Is there one more? No? Coming engagements and outreach. So we have a lot of events coming up. We're going to be working with the Boys and Girls Club as a part of their Black History Month Community Resource Fair. The Waukegan Public School District is having a Black History Celebration, which is actually a health fair, and we will be there with handouts and a craft. And then Aetna Health is having a community event. So these opportunities are a chance for our community and outreach coordinator, as well as other staff, to be out connecting in the community and letting the community know about our resources and fulfilling a need in the community. And last but not least, our guest readers focus. So far this month, Sylvia England and Rita Mayfield have done their Black History Month stories. Sheriff Eidelberg did his story today. It premiered at 5:30, and he was really excited about having an opportunity to smile. Look at that smile. Our sheriff is smiling ear to ear, and to engage with a different connection in our community with kids. And Antoine will be doing his story next month. As a reminder, this is not a replacement for story time. It can be children or adult geared, but the idea is to have people from the community connect with the library and read or do poetry or whatever it is for that theme, but bringing their audience with them as we engage them with reading, or as I like to say, sort of a broad level of literacy. Over the next few months, the themes will be Women's History, National Poetry Month, and Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. And as with all staff, anyone can make a recommendation of someone they think would be a great guest reader. And I invite the board, if there is someone that you know that you would like to recommend, reach out to Jennifer Cordova, or if you would like to participate in the future yourself. Is that it? Yeah. And so with that, I say it's been 12 and a half great years. I'm only just a little bit away. I've had the same phone number my entire cell phone life. We won't talk about how long that's been. And so certain staff know where to find me, and I will be supporting these programs and grants. And if there's anything that I can do for the library, I will always continue to do that. I believe that we have a wonderful vehicle for this community, and we just have to continue to work the kinks out and deliver great services and work. Thank you.
Best wishes on your new job.
Thank you so much.
Bravo, bravo.
Thank you, Gail. Okay, Larry, you're up next with the Finance Audit Committee report.
Thank you. All right, so we did have our Finance Committee meeting this evening, and we reviewed several different, actually 3 different documents. The first is the Waukegan Public Library Summary of Actual versus Budgeted Results for the 9-month period ending January 31st of 2022. And everything appeared to be in good order to myself and the committee. And Anna, who is our business manager, finance director, gave us a brief summary overview of all that as well. Anna, would you possibly present to the board your evaluation for this report?
Sure. This is 9 months into our fiscal year, so we should be about 75% of our spending. And if you look at the summary, we're at 70%. So it's basically in line of what we should be doing. One item that is a big change from last month is administrative services. That's because in January, we pay our insurance, our yearly insurance, both workman's comp and liability insurance. And you see that in the check register, total to about $58,000. That's why our administrative services is a little over than 100%. And besides that, there's everything is in line with our plans. So no.
Thank you. Okay, very good. So the next document we reviewed is the monthly board check detail for the Waukegan Public Library for January of 2022. Everything appeared to be in good order. And I will say that our finance committee approved of bringing it to the board tonight for your review and recommend your approval. Finally, I will say too that we reviewed the proposed fiscal year 2023 budget, and everything looked within reason. It looks like we're a little bit about $100,000, less than $100,000 more proposed in the proposed budget for 2023 versus currently. As I understand, administrative costs has gone up slightly. There's been an increase in books. There has been a decrease. We're forecasting a decrease in the cleaning services, surfaces and all this sort of thing due to the pandemic beginning to wane significantly. So that is a savings, and those expenses are projected to be going down. We are spending some more on marketing, $25,000 more on marketing, which includes, as I understand, billboards and more PR to get our story out about our excellent library and the services we offer. So, and there has been a property tax increase too, which we've benefited from in terms of that increased in the proposed budget of a little less than 100,000. So having said all that, our committee did recommend bringing this to the board for your review and for your approval as well. So that is the presentation we have to give you this evening from our Finance Committee meeting. And with that in mind, I would ask for a motion to approve the monthly board check detail for January of 2022.
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the monthly board check detail of the Waukegan Public Library for January of 2022. Mr. Secretary, could you, if you would, conduct the roll call, please?
Kathy?
Aye.
Gerardo?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
Deborah?
Aye.
Nathan?
Aye.
Jean?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Aye.
Rob?
Aye.
And myself, yes.
Very good. It's been approved for the monthly board check detail for January 2022 has been approved. Thank you. Moving on then next to the proposed fiscal year 2023 budget for the Waukegan Public Library. Again, our committee recommends it be approved. Is there a motion? So with that in mind, is there a motion to approve the fiscal year 2023 proposed budget as presented of the Waukegan Public Library?
I so move.
Thank
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the proposed fiscal year 2023 budget for the Waukegan Public Library. Mr. Secretary, would you be so kind as to do a roll call?
Kathy?
Aye.
Gerardo?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
Deborah?
Aye.
Nathan?
Aye.
Jean?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Aye.
Rob?
Aye.
And yes for myself.
Very good. Thank you. So it has been approved. Motion's carried, and thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening, and thank you.
Thank you, Larry, for that report. And sorry, Brian, before for stealing the roll call from you. Up next, we have the Executive Director Search Committee report. So you'll see in the board packet the proposal. Real quick, just to let you know, we met on the 3rd, and we had some extra members, and we went through the proposal from HR Source. The things that we discussed were that we really liked their diversity inclusion statement that they had, and thought that was really a good point, and thought that the cost fit what we were looking for. They have experience within the area, And yeah, did anyone have any questions about that? I did try to include a small like comparison sheet in the board packet that it's kind of like before when, so we could compare the same things. Yes, Gerardo?
Yeah, I like the services they're providing. The one that stuck out to me the most was the handle all candidate communication, including scheduling interviews. I was wondering if that could be expanded, or if that includes perhaps once it's time to be in person, scheduling hotels and travel and those sorts of accommodations.
Good question. I actually got ahead of myself, and we need to make a motion before we can have the discussion. So, would anyone like to make a motion?
I move that we approve the HR source proposal.
I'll
Thank you.
second it.
Okay, so we had Jean and then Deborah / Larry. I'll go. Brian, do you want me to do this one? Is that okay?
No, it's okay. I can do it. Oh, you can do it if you want.
No, you're already there.
All right, Kathy,
Aye.
Gerardo,
Aye.
Sorry,
Larry,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Nathan. Oh wait, so
Aye.
we
Yeah.
sorry, we wanted to do discussion. My bad. Okay.
Yeah, my
was
bad.
gonna-
Aye.
Sorry, I'm not all there today. I'm sick today. So.
It's been a long day for us. Sorry. So thank you for the motion and the second, and those votes aren't real yet. Okay. So now we can have discussion. So Gerardo, you asked about if that includes in person
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. And I guess pulling the strings to make it happen in person in terms of hotels and travel.
Okay, good question. I'll write that down.
One thing, Rob, that we had talked about wanting to discuss here as well is some of the, I don't know if you want to call them extras, but some of the additional things that they had offered to do for us. So I just want to make sure that we have that we talk about those things kind of specifically.
Yes, thank you. Would you like me to?
Sure.
Or
yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
I will let you know, Nathan, that I did call Jackie this afternoon, and any of these additional services we can add on at any time. So that's information for everybody. If we think that we want something later, we can always add it on. So nothing is, I guess, final except the whole rest of it. So some of the things that we thought were important, if you look down on page 6, where it has section 3, the cost proposal, would be the library staff culture assessment. And that would gather an electronic survey and then comes up with a final report with the employee comments and everything. And there is an option to get that analyzed with billable hours. And they said it was depending on size. And we also, correct me if I'm wrong, Nathan, thought that I think that was it, right? That we really were strong for. So
yeah, that's accurate. I mean, I talked about some of the other things, but that was the cultural survey, I think, was the one that we were kind of like, yes, that's what we would recommend. And the others we wanted to other trustees to be able to give feedback on and see what they thought.
That's what I remember too. I remember that as well.
Can I get an understanding of why we want employee comments?
The reason we had talked about doing that is to be able to then see. So this would not be the employees like deciding who the person is. This would be more of, this is kind of where library staff are at. It would also be helpful then for the new director coming in to have an idea of, okay, what are some of the things that the employees are thinking, and then we would be able to, as trustees, then receive that feedback as well as we're doing the interviews to kind of tailor the questions to address the concerns that may have been raised, or the themes or ideas that come out of those. So it would be, does that answer your question?
I guess I misunderstood that then. So this is before a selection is made. It's not them giving comment against who we've selected as the people that are running.
Yeah, this is more of like a cultural climate kind of questionnaire for ours as we go into the interviews, and then for the new director to have as they step into that role.
Okay.
And that's also to give them a piece of the process, if you can look at it like that.
And that's my concern, because in my experience in the prior one, them having a piece of the process led them to think that and feel that they have more than their I don't even know how to explain myself, how they feel that they are the ones that determine what the director of the library should not do, is responsible for. That's why I'm asking that question. They had that same input. They got to meet with the people that were in consideration, tell how they felt about them. I didn't think that was something that, I personally didn't feel it was something that should have happened. I've never been involved in who my boss was going to be.
But we're not gonna go that route. This is more or less like we talked about it briefly, like giving them like a survey so that they can, give their input, and it would be a limited piece of the process. Is that a better way of explaining it?
I'll just pause it real quick, because I will get a more detailed explanation of what this is from HR source. Like I said, we can add these on at any time. I can get an example of what this would look like, so we have a better idea. And I also thought, since this meeting already has enough on the menu, we could bring them in next month, depending on how the vote goes, to get more answers on those specifics as well, if that helps. So, sorry, I didn't mean to.
And I wasn't saying that I'm against it. I just wanted to make clarification on how I felt about that process.
No, I appreciate that. I just want us to make sure that if we are concerned about it, that we're actually concerned about what it actually is, instead of just so we know.
And I would say too, if I may, Rob, real quick, that I think it's, and I understand what Jean's saying, and I do feel it's important that we make our entire library staff and community feel inclusive, included in this process. So this sounds like a very worthwhile piece, and I look forward to learning more about how they, what it looks like in greater detail at our next meeting, from what you're saying.
Thank you, Larry.
So, Rob, do you think it would be appropriate at this point to make a motion that we accept kind of the basic package that's there with, and then to bring them in at maybe the next meeting to talk and gain more information about some of those extras and addendums that we could add? Does that sound reasonable?
That sounds good to me. I know, Carl, there's a magic phrase that you told us before, like that we put after approving this with legal something after you check over the contract and everything. If you're there.
Rob, I've looked over the contract and it's fine. I'm okay with as is. And the question was, do you want to do a motion to approve the base contract plus one or more of the options? You could do that now. I don't know how far they can go without doing some of the, if they want to do the survey, the assessment of the survey first before they put together the rest of it, like the advertisement, the position statement.
Right. Yeah, no, I did check with them today and we can add those at any time.
Okay. So
process.
If that's the case and if the board's comfortable with it, it could just be a motion to approve the contract with the base and the options to be discussed next month.
Awesome. Thank you. And
I have one more question. Next month, they're going to come and they're going to talk to us, and then we are going to proceed with finalizing this. This is going to be the company we're going to use, and they're going to go out and start doing this. Am I correct? We're not going to go into another meeting where this is going to be the final meeting where we're going to go ahead and make this decision.
Yes, that would be what today is. We are making that decision. And then the next one could add on the additional options and services.
So we're making a decision tonight. We're calling them, we're letting them know, go ahead and start the process.
Yes, that is what our committee recommends.
John, could you explain a little bit more about your chat there?
In the past, if there's bells and whistles, it's easier to make a motion for X number of dollars. So if the base is 15 and all the bells and whistles add up to another 5, then giving the library the authority to spend up to $20,000. So that way you don't have to go back and make another motion to pay all these other bills when you could do it all with one fell swoop up to a certain amount, not to exceed 25 or whatever the total dollar amount you would recommend. Carl, please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how we've done it in the past when it came to, not having to bring it back to the board to get approval to do all the things that you may want to do in the first place.
I agree with that approach in general, John, except when you're looking to have options. And if the board's not right now ready to approve some or all of the options, they're going to have to come back and vote on those anyway. Board's ready to go ahead and do a motion to approve the contract with options A, B, C. Then with an amount not to exceed X dollars is appropriate way to go. So to whatever extent the board wants to include the options in the motion, add the dollars with it, and you'll be fine. So are there options, Rob, that the committee was recommending you definitely go with?
The one that we recommended was the library staff culture assessment. And I know in the past, if I have looked through all the previous documents, the last time we did an executive director search, we used something similar to the applicant tracking system with a dedicated site. So not sure if we would do that again, but at least the other one is what we were recommending.
Call for a motion, or you could make the motion yourself, Rob.
I was gonna say the people that were on the committee, if they agree that this is what they want, why none of them want to make the motion to say something to that effect?
No, I can make the motion. I was just wondering if because it sounded, Jean, like you had more questions about that survey. Are you good? Okay.
So you're making the motion?
Sure. Yep,
Nathan?
I make a
And
motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so we're ready?
Well, before you do, let's clarify what the motion was.
Right.
Motion to approve the contract for the executive directive search, including the assessment survey?
Yes, including the assessment survey. So I make a motion that we accept this the base contract with the addition of the that survey.
And I second it with that survey.
All right, so roll call, Kathy?
Aye.
Gerardo?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
Deborah?
Aye.
Nathan?
Aye.
Jean?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Aye.
Rob?
Aye.
And yes for myself.
Okay. That is passed. Okay, thank you. So now I'm moving back to the agenda. We now are on new business. And we have the per capita grant. Sorry, almost put those together. Off to you, John.
So the library every year applies for the per capita grant through the state of Illinois. Secretary of State puts funds into the hands of libraries. This is the financial or expenditures report of how we spent the 2020 per capita grant. It's 2 years apart. So when we're applying for the 2023, it's actually we're reporting expenses on the 2020. It's weird, I know, but it was something they just said that's the way that it works. So here's the expenditures, and then here's the application for the library's request for per capita grants. It's pretty standard, and it has to do with our state standards, which are on this little flash drive here. But the Illinois Public Library standards, serving our public 4.0, they're a recommendation, but not a requirement or a law. But we do have to adhere to those in order to apply for something like a per capita grant. So that's what you see in front of you. So we meet all the components for the most part. We are short. We don't have Narcan, for example. So that was one of the pieces. So we can look into getting things to make us compliant. But otherwise, the library is compliant in almost all of the application's requirements. One of which is to explain how we intend to use the funds. And so for the future, for fiscal 23, we would use per capita grant monies to improve performance in relation to technology infrastructure, offset increasing costs for ebooks, possibly join another consortium called Find More Illinois, and increasing our staff and board training. We also hope to continue the federal program of Wi-Fi hotspots beyond the time when the federal funding runs out, which hopefully they extend it ad infinitum, but if they don't, I think that we should continue to some degree offering Wi-Fi hotspot lending at our library. Other than that, that's it. Any questions?
John, how much did we receive last year from the state? Just curious. Just curious if you have it. If you don't, you don't.
Last year it was 131,000. It was more because of a pandemic year. So usually, when I first started here, we only got. I think that somehow the state of Illinois did not have a budget, and so therefore we only got $69,000 my first year. But then every year since then, it's been 111,000 and some change. And again, this last year was 131,000, but it's going back to 111.
Thank you.
Jen, did we need to make a motion on this one? I don't remember how you explained that to me.
It does need to be approved by the board. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I will move to accept the Illinois Public Library per capita grant expenditure report for 2022 for $111,347.50.
Point of order. Before we move forward on that motion, all we need is approval for the grant application itself, not the expenditures.
Oh,
that is just reporting to apply for the grant.
Yep.
Then I would move then, or amend it to move that we accept the grant application.
I second.
As presented. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I second.
All right, so roll call, or do we want to discuss? I don't want to mess it up again this time. Okay, roll call. Kathy.
Aye.
Larry.
Aye.
Deborah.
Aye.
Nathan.
Aye.
Jean.
Yes.
Gerardo.
Aye.
Rebecca.
Aye.
Rob.
Aye.
And yes for me.
Great. Thank you, John. Moving up, we are moving to closed executive session. I will make a motion that we adjourn to closed executive session to discuss the appointment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of certain employees of the public body.
And add to that, and legal counsel.
And legal counsel.
I second it.
Okay, roll call. Kathy.
Aye.
Gerardo.
Aye.
Larry.
Aye.
Deborah.
Aye.
Nathan.
Aye.
Jean.
Yes.
Rebecca.
Aye.
Rob.
Aye.
And myself, yes.
We'll
Awesome.
bring everyone out into breakout rooms, but I just want to let everybody know that we will record this so that we have a recording of the closed session, just as I have to let you know. And if anyone objects, please let me know now, or forever hold your peace. All righty, Mr. Chairman, we are back in open session.
Okay, so closed session was closed at 8:23. We're going to call back to order. Brian, would you like to do roll call?
Sure. Nathan?
Sorry.
Yeah. Kathy?
Here.
Rebecca?
Here.
Gerardo?
Here.
Deborah?
Here.
Larry? Jean? I saw Larry say here. Rob?
Here.
And myself here.
Great, so we are back in open session at 8:25. Do we have a motion? Larry, you're still muted.
I move that we go back into open session.
Oh, we are in it. We're in open session. We have a motion for what the closed session was about.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
And you can see me, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, very good. Yeah. Yes, I do have a motion to render. Let me just pull something up here real quick. I would move to have the law firm of Odison, D. Nolful, Hassan Black, and Costando Limited be both our labor union negotiation attorneys as well as our general counsel for the Waukegan Public Library going forward.
I second it.
Okay, thank you. I guess we'll go to vote. Brian?
All right, Nathan?
Aye.
Kathy?
Aye.
Rebecca?
Aye.
Gerardo?
Aye.
Deborah?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
Jean?
Yes.
Rob?
I think technically I should be last, so you go.
Okay, yes for myself, and then Rob?
Yes. Okay, so that is done. Now, next is comments, trustee comments. I just had a quick presence report. We already set the spring retreat date, that March 17th. I forget which day already, but
19.
19, yes. So we'll see you all then. More details to come. Wanted to remind everyone to complete their OMA trainings. Get that into Susan or get John or both, whoever. Yes, send it to somebody. And then I know we weren't able to get all of our subcommittees to meet in January, but hoping we can get everybody back in February, early March. I know we had a lot of other stuff going on, so totally understandable, but just keep me updated when you're sending out those subcommittee emails and agendas so we can get that to Susan. And that was my report / comment. I guess we'll go to the rest of the trustee comments.
Oh, my bad. So we'll start with Nathan.
The only thing I will say is that we, Larry and I met with members of the Historical Society earlier this evening, talk about the outline of a loan agreement for the Ray Bradbury collection. We made, I think, some good progress on talking about some things and identifying kind of the sticking points for that. So Carl's going to go back and work on some of those, and then we are going to meet with them on March 2nd. And yeah, and then I'll also, then Larry, feel free to chime in if I forgot anything. But that's a summary of what happened earlier this evening.
Well, very well stated, Nathan. We made some significant headway and have a little further to go, but we're working together and we're eager to have the collection issue resolved and moving forward so it can be displayed to the public. So we're making progress, good progress.
It's good to hear. Thank you.
Kathy.
I just would like to note that we're all going to miss Gail, or I'm going to miss Gail, and say we wish her well, and she's done a great job.
Thank you so much.
Rebecca.
I also agree. Thank you, Gail, for your service to the library, and again, we do wish you luck in your next endeavor.
Thank you. You guys will be missed.
Gerardo.
Yep, I wanted to continue with thank you, Gail, for your time and support with all of this. I feel that we're starting to get in our groove with the agenda and expediting our thought process and how we should go about addressing things. I'm looking forward to collaborating with you.
Deborah.
Congratulations, Gail. You'll be missed.
Thank you so much.
Larry.
So thank you. Yes, it's been a real joy and pleasure and honor to work with Gail Graves for my years on the library board. She's been always a source of great insight, inspiration, and just serving our library and our community in every way. She's a wonderful public servant and has done so much good for our library and for our community. And Gail, I wish you and we wish you the very best going forward. And we're blessed to have you still somewhere in our community fighting the good fight for we the people and doing good things. So Godspeed to you.
Absolutely. Fighting the good fight alongside you. Thank you.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
Jean.
You know how I feel, Gail. Good luck.
Thank you.
If I don't get my copy in the mail, I'm calling you.
Absolutely. You may call me. But you're going to get your copy in the mail.
So I'll let Rob finish off here, but I want to echo everything else. So thank you, Gail, for your time with the Waukegan Public Library. I know that in my time on the board, you made it very easy to kind of learn everything I needed to know. Even in some of those committee meetings you sat in on with us, it helped me understand, kind of the direction those committees need to go. So you'll definitely be missed. And so thank you for your time here.
Thank you. And thank you for your partnership. Definitely.
Yep. And then Rob.
I know I kind of already had a time to give a comment, but I did want to echo everybody. Gail, I really do appreciate the time and that you put into the library. When I first got on the board, it was so great to see a friendly face, someone I knew, and it was great. So you'll be missed, but I know you'll be around. So
we will continue to cross paths and we'll fight the good fight for libraries and literacy.
Thank you. Okay. Well, I guess we just need a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Okay. Motion by Larry.
Second.
I second. Oh.
It was seconded, thirded, and fourth, I believe. Brian, you want to do it?
Sure. Nathan?
Aye.
Kathy?
Aye.
Gerardo?
Aye.
Deborah?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
Jean?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Aye.
Aye for myself, and then Rob?
Aye. Thank you, everyone.